It's the Upstate Golf Show, hosted by Kip Kirby on 104.5 The Team.
We're back with the Upstate Golf Show with Kip Kirby. My guest today, Noel Gabauer of the Town and Colony Golf Course. Noel, you're part of the Northeast New York PGA, which is made up of a bunch of sections in the country. You have a pretty important role on the board here with the PGA, and also part of the national or sectional part of the board too. Is that correct?
Yeah, actually, I had spent a lot of time, about 10 years ago or so, doing a lot of work for the section and being on their board, being an officer and a president of the Northeast New York PGA. And then just recently I was elected as a board of director for the PGA of America, the national body, which is an amazing honor. There's 14 of us directors because there's 14 districts. Each district is made out of 3 sections. 3 or 4 sections. So it's we cover northeastern New York, the New England section, which is all of New England except for Connecticut, and then there's a Connecticut section. So those are the 3 districts or 3 sections that I represent. It's District 1 with the PGA, and then there's 14 of us directors, and then there's a president of the PGA who's Derek Sprague, who comes from northeastern New York, who
right.
Was at Malone Country Club for forever. And then there's also a vice president and a secretary. And between us, the 17 of us, as well as a past president, we're the ones that make all the decisions for the PGA of America. So it's an amazing role. I'm so excited. I'm actually an incoming director now, so I'm shadowing a director, and then in November I actually get seated as an official board of director, and it's going to be awesome.
But what's impressive too about that is coming from the Northeast New York section here, mm-hmm. which is the smallest section.
Yes.
In all the sections in the country.
Yes.
The Met section, which is huge, obviously made up of New York City, New Jersey.
Yep.
For you to be a part of this, that's a big deal.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, Northeast New York, not just for me to be a part of it, but for Derek to be the president of the PGA of America right now, and, coming from the Northeast New York section, which is really just 180 members and apprentices together. And to give you an idea, the Carolinas section has a few thousand.
Wow.
So it's quite a big difference, and and for Derek to have that much respect nationwide, to be able to be elected into the presidency is just amazing, and he's certainly deserving, because he's just an amazing golf professional. He's moved out of the section now, but he's just been phenomenal in his role, and to come onto the board of directors, while he's the president is quite an honor.
It's a Upstate Golf Show with Kip Kirby, 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio, here with Noel Gabauer. So aspirations, Noel, to move to do what Derek is doing? Move right up that, or?
Well, I certainly would love to, but I think the time that it takes to be an officer of the PGA of America, you really need to have a special job, day job, to be able to do that. Derek is on the road for probably about 180 days a year.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and he has to, also deal with his club job, which is what he gets paid, because the president of the PGA of America is a volunteer position. It's a very prestigious position, but it's still, it's volunteer. So you need to have the right club or job situation to be able to do that, and also family situation. That's takes a lot out on on his family. Luckily, his kids are now off to college, so he's able to fulfill the role without having to miss a lot of that. Right now, my kids are certainly at a stage where it wouldn't be good for me to do that right now. We'll say that, but to be a director is an amazing honor. It does require probably about 30 days on the road for the year. I have to go to the PGA Championship, the Ryder Cup, and the Masters starting next year, and board meetings, planning sessions, and it's certainly a neat thing.
That's exciting, and obviously not bad for the resume going down the road too. So good for you, Noel. Sure. Congratulations.
Thank you. I
want to get into a little bit. We're trying to grow the game. Obviously, we want young people and to get into this thing and learn how to play and come out and support clubs. All that. This goofy golf thing, where they're talking 4 holes, big holes,
yep.
all that other stuff. Your opinion on some of that?
Any way we can get people to get into the sport, see the sport, enjoy the sport is a good thing, because I think eventually it will lead them to the golf as the USGA sees it with the rules, and as we play it at our golf course. There's all kinds of weird things out there. There's Top Golf, which is an indoor facility, which is kind of a game that you play on a range. You've got just all kind. You got foot golf going on out there. There's
I saw that. That was kind of wild.
Yeah,
soccer golf,
absolutely.
Whatever that was.
And it's but anything that gets oddly enough, one of the things that are really driving kids to know more about the sport. They're more the reason they're more knowledgeable right now is because of Wii and Xbox and PlayStation and those games that they play there. I mean, a lot of them never touch the golf club, but they know who the tour players are and they know the rules and they know what a green is and a fringe is. I'm seeing that in my junior clinics because they play these games, and that's just great,
But they're also, are you seeing them? They're less patient to learn the game and to work as hard as what we had to do back in the day. And we'd hit balls. So when we had no money, we'd save $2 for a hot dog and a bag of chips or something, grab every ball or help the Gunnings chip balls out of the fences, whatever. Yeah. That's all changed, and it's like you said, your kids, I'm sure, involved with other sports and other activities and. The focus on golf now is just it's changed a lot over the years.
Well, it definitely has, and yes, I think that the kids out there, they're going to have a little less patience because their minds are everywhere. Like the millennials. I mean, we get trained in the industry to how to deal with everybody 35 and under because they think differently than we do, and certainly the kids nowadays. The ones that are junior golfers are definitely, you have to do different things to kind of keep their interest. But I think, as always, there's going to be certain juniors and certain children that really will, be attracted to the game. And then there's others, probably the majority of them will not, especially when they're really young. But then, my advice to parents is that, if you take a 7, 8, 9-year-old and they're not, really into the game at that point, it's okay. Try them again when they're 13 and 14. Because I can take a junior that's never touched a club, who is 13 years old, and make them as good by the time they're 16 as the junior that was playing when they were 4.
Right.
Because of if they have that interest, and that's and the best part about golf is, which having kids going through the other sports, you were always really conscious of, boy, my son better be on the 8-year-old all-star baseball team to make sure he's on the 9-year-old all-star baseball team to get on the travel team. And then, you always needed to be in the in crowd there. Golf, none of that happens. If you shoot a score, you're going to win. Doesn't matter what the coach thinks of your swing. It doesn't matter if your parent ran the booster club. It's just all about score. So that's the great part about golf. And you can really get started, at any point as a young child or as a teenager, and become really proficient at the game if you work hard at it.
It's the Upstate Golf Show every Saturday mornings from 8 to 9 on ESPN Radio 104.5 The Team. This is Masters Week, and I'm going to have Pete Doherty coming up here in a little bit, who's down at Augusta, and he's been down there for a whole week. What a great gig that is!
Oh, that sounds awesome to me.
And had I had a great interview with him, and he's gonna be up here in just a couple of minutes. Also want to thank my sponsors, OTS Photos and Johnny Miller, OTSphotos.com. You want to enhance your charity event, you got to call Johnny, and he'll come out. He'll do a great job. It's not just taking pictures. He takes a 4x6 magnet, puts your logo, whatever you want on it. It's something that's a nice little keepsake that stays with you for a long time. Johnny Miller of OTS Photos, OTSphotos.com. The Masters. So 30 years ago, Jack won, 1986. No, that was a huge inspiration for me to get into the golf business. I know exactly where I was. I was on that my little apartment watching and as soon as he made that back nine, I thought something was going to happen, and I was staying tuned. It was just incredible. Where were you 30 years ago?
Oh, it was amazing. I was at still living with my parents. I was 16, and I can remember being in front of my TV, and I can remember taping it, on the old VHS tape.
Wow, yeah.
And I still have it. I actually taped it live as I was watching it because I was one of those, that 5% of kids that thought golf was really cool, and I'd tape it to kind of watch golf swings and trying to figure out how to do mine better. So, I just happened to tape the whole thing as it was going on, and I can't tell you how many times I I replayed it and watched it. I mean, it was just an unbelievable event, and that obviously has touched so many people. I mean, to run the Golf Channel had a special on it the other night. It's something that's it's just you still get chills thinking about that event and the way it all went down.
Yeah.
I mean,
so what do you watch more? And because I know you personally, the 30th Jacks Masters or Blazing Saddles?
Oh, that's a tie, I guess. I would have to be. I can recite Ben Wright and Vern Lundquist, and I can also come up with some good lines.
Ladies
from
and gentlemen,
Saddles.
I've never heard he knows this thing inside and out. It's pretty scary. It's the Upstate Golf Show with Kip Kirby and Noel Gabauer from Town and Colony Golf Courses here with me. Coming up next, it's Steve Smith, the director of golf at Greystone Golf and Country Club of Birmingham, Alabama, a South Colony grad. And we're going to have that little reunion coming up for you in just a couple minutes.